asked a very, very pertinent question, and I'm very, very pleased with the kind words with which you have described the Green Party. You've not invented any of them. You know, that's who we are, and we are even getting better. On the issue of creating a balance on cultural issues, there are quite a lot that can be said. But you see, like the word SEMA, which is to talk, it is always good to talk, because by talking, you will begin to, you know, bridge some of the gaps that you have. But one thing must stand central as far as I am concerned as an individual Green member, and I believe that the party shares that view with me. And that thing is choice. Be it on the issue of homosexual marriage, that is same-sex marriage, or be it on the issue of legalization of polygamy in Africa, where a man is allowed to marry you know, more than one wife. Now, when we discuss such issues, as an African, but also one that likes to see himself as being broad-minded, I would say that those who have issues with the polygamy law in some African countries should realize that such law has not made polygamy compulsory. The key thing there is that there is a choice. You can either choose to marry more than one wife, or choose to stick with one wife, which, like some people would like to say, is even enough headache. Okay? So, now, for some of us who feel that one wife is more than enough, I believe that the task ahead of us is to go out there and propagate that idea, that view, you know, to sensitize other people to say, listen, that law, you know, allowing you to marry more than one wife is there, but you don't have to do that. Okay? So I will leave that one on that. And then the issue of, you know, homosexuality. Well, as an African who lives here and has been, encountered issues of discrimination, I believe that I can see eye to eye with individuals, who choose to go into a relationship with somebody of the same sex and is being discriminated upon. Being from a highly, Christian country, Nigeria, at some point I believe was, voted, one of the most Christian countries, religious countries in the world. I can also see from the perspective of those who believe that this is an abomination. But ultimately, the word choice has to be the thing that we should place at the center of the entire debate. So I will not sit here and tell you that I do not want, to hear anything about same-sex marriage. I would rather be telling you that there is a choice. Nobody is being forced by the law to get into same-sex marriage if that isn't what you want. And then lastly, and I believe that was something you touched, in passing, trade relations between Africa and Europe. This is probably going to be spectacular for a Green Party person, but I can tell you that where I stand on the issue is that fair trade policies should be at the center of the relationship between Europe and Africa. The right prices being paid for the right goods and services. Africa should not depend on aid from Europe to be able to survive. The relationship should be built not on aid, but on trade. Once that happens, I believe that in the long run, European taxpayers will feel happier because their money stays with them. It no longer goes to Africa. And Africans will be happier with the level of profit coming out of the fair business transactions conducted between them and Africa. That way, everybody is happy. I know it's a long run, but that's where I stand on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Collins. Okay. That was a tough question. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Stella, maybe just 2 minutes because we'd still like to introduce our two other parties. We've been having the Green Party dominating, and I think that's really unfair because we've got the Blues sitting right there, and now there are two of them, so we can fight fairly, right? We were just feeling sorry for leaving one of our speakers, but on this particular question, I think the Blue Party would also like to say something, or would you wait for the Okay, so Stella, please 2 words, and then we introduce the Blue Party, and then we can have the debate open between the parties and the audience. Thank you.
Right, Morgan, thanks. Okay. Thank you very much for your question. It's really pertinent. We are hearing all sorts of things all over Europe, but also all over Africa. That's actually very worrying. I will reiterate what my colleague here mentioned, and that is choice. Choice. A running theme with the Greens is, equality, fairness, equal opportunity, mutual respect. All comes down again to choice. We cannot have it all. If we have said that we are living in a society that is not governed by religion, that is governed by democracy, that is governed by, worldviews that are beyond a specific religion and a specific authoritarian way of doing things, and we must, at the same time, acknowledge that people have a right. They have a right to choose. They have a right to be different. They have a right for laws that protect each and every one of us for the good of the whole society. We cannot start to be very, specific to, unique needs of the people. No, our society is there to serve the needs of a majority of the people for the majority of the time. So we call for transparency, we call for fairness, we call for laws that are that enable us to exist without having to impinge upon the rights and the needs of anybody who is perhaps touting views and ideas and beliefs and needs and values that are not necessarily what we ourselves believe in. This is green. This is what green is fighting for. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. That was, thank you very much, Stella. Thank you very much, Collins. So we've had the introduction from the Greens, and you've had a chance to talk to them. Now, please, thank you very much to our blue speakers who have been really, thank you for being very patient, Abdul Diallo. Thank you so much. Please do acknowledge that. So, and in breaking with tradition, we'll not start with ladies, but we'll start with a gentleman. So, please, I would like to introduce to you our next speaker, Abdul Diallo, who has been sitting here patiently, and again, I do apologize for the lengthy introduction we've had with the Greens. Now, Abdul, well, you know what, he's so dynamic. Now, I don't even know where to start introducing him. Abdul is only 35. Did I say only? But guess what? He has 2 masters in science, politics, and communication, public relations. Is that 4? He has been serving in the Committee of the Regions in the European Union